to the mist-covered banks of the Hudson Valley and all across the globe. The signal drifts through the night. This is Midnight Signals. Now, here are your hosts, Sergeant Shenanigator and Alien Mike.
Alien Mike, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. How are you doing there?
Doing good, doing good.
Good.
Hey, I'm excited to have this weekend special with Karl. Do you want to go ahead and introduce everybody to Karl real quick?
Yeah, this is my buddy Karl from Sweden. We've known each other for a few years now. We kind of, I don't know, became friends online and got really close. And he decided, he'd like to come on today and talk about a few, UFO cases and some paranormal stuff, cryptozoology stuff that has happened in Sweden. So that's what we've got going today.
I am excited for today. Karl, you want to introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I'm seeing I'm lagging a bit, but I hope it's the sound is okay at least.
Yep, sound is perfect.
Perfect. Yes, Karl from Sweden, the team version, because everyone is always, how do you say, mixing me up with Carl Abrahamson, that is also quite famous in this. So I'm the team version, he's the IKEA version. Like Mike said, we met online since we have a common interest in the outdoors, photography, and of course the X-Files. So I think we've been it was a couple of years ago, and I think we've been chatting and talking every day since almost.
Yeah, pretty much every day.
Yeah, and I'm almost 50. I'm from Stockholm, Sweden, and my interest in this topic started when I was maybe 6 or 7. I went to the local library to find what I called monster books, and the librarian was amazing. So she were sorting me out there, and she got me a book that's called Naturligt Övernaturligt. It's natural or supernatural. And it's one of these encyclopedias, where they have the UFOs and they have Bigfoot and, everything. So I read that a million times. I actually found it in an antique bookstore a couple of years ago, so I bought it directly.
Very cool.
So it's I'm going to talk about this Sweden approach here with all the some of the cooler topics, events that we have had here through history. So, and I'm very glad that I could come on and that you guys we could sort the time difference, because that's the hardest part of living here in Sweden with many friends over the seas.
Yeah, well,
luckily you're a night animal, Mike, so we can talk.
I'm always up, always up. So it works out good. But we're glad to have you.
Oh, absolutely. So before I let you take over, for everybody out there, give us that thumbs up, like, subscribe, keep us going, let us know that you're out there watching and you're liking what you're seeing.
Yep, share us with all your friends, all your groups, family, everyone.
I know we've got a great presentation today, but feel free to throw out your questions to us. We'll get Karl to answer any questions you guys have.
And I can't answer anything in chat again, Steve, just so you're aware, like it won't let me again. So,
all right. I got the chat covered.
Okay. You got that. And I'll try to keep an eye on everything else that I can.
All right.
Superb, guys.
Alrighty.
All right. We can go to the next slide. Yes, Sweden, a smorgasbord of the supernatural. Like I said, we have had through history and have a lot of cases, and they are often not very known internationally. So I'm going to talk about the Swedish UFO organization, UFO Sweden. Mm-hmm. I'm going to talk about some UFO cases, the most prominent one. I will go into some cryptozoology, the hauntings of the Island of Gotland. And a pretty cool case about a ghost that has been going viral since almost 1800s here in Sweden. So,
Okay.
and this is a part of the stuff that some of these I of course found in that book that I got in the back in the days. But yeah, you can jump over to the next one. Yes, UFO Sweden, which I am a member of, but I am not a spokesperson or anything like that. So everything I say is, of course, my craziness.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've checked, and UFO Sweden is closest to, I think, the American MUFON, with the approach, with the organization, and from what I understood is there have been a lot of collaborations between UFO Sweden and MUFON, like conferences and stuff. But here in Sweden, it's a non-profit nationwide organization. This was founded back in 1970. And the approach is a serious and scientific investigation of unidentified aerial phenomena. They are known for being quite skeptic in the approach. They don't, like I said in the end, we don't believe, we examine. It's a huge operation with taking in all the reports that come in, because they have like a hotline. They have you can mail them, etc. With if we have had a UFO experience or something like that.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, it's so I think every second month you get like a report paper with all the reports that they have gone through. And they also make a UFO magazine, which is really good. I sent a couple to you.
Yeah, I've actually I've got them right here. I pulled them out just for this occasion here. Let me grab them. These ones right here.
Yep.
And I absolutely love them. So I'm going to stop you real quick. So do you have to be Swedish to become a member of UFO Sweden, or could I sign up?
You could sign up. We have what do you call it? It's a non-profit organization. It's they don't do this for the money or anything. We have you probably have the same thing, but when you have that, you get like some funds from the state, etc. But I see would see no problem with that at all.
Okay, that's something I'm going to look
then
into.
You can be a card-carrying member.
Oh,
yeah,
very nice.
Yeah, but what is interesting with these guys is that they are really taking like everything seriously. So they go out, they have field report groups. I think MUFON has that as well. Like what do you call charters or chapters or?
Yeah, they have different chapters. Every state's got one, and then within each state there are, there's the head director, the assistant director, and then there's field investigators, and then there's people like me that are just a part of MUFON Utah or the whole organization in general. So
excellent. So it's that was one of the first magazines I got as well, because back then you can buy it in like stores, the magazine. Now it's more or less just for members, but to have that they do when the autopsy film came from Area 51, they were on it directly and had commentating at national TV about it and stuff. So they are also taken very seriously, and that is like the how do you call it? The ordförande, what can that be? Like the chief or the boss? Or he was on our national radio this summer, because they take out celebrities every summer to talk about any topic they want. So he was on there. So it's they are seen as very serious.
Yeah, that's one thing I have noticed. I pay attention to MUFON a lot, but UFO Sweden seems a lot more serious and dedicated to it. Than MUFON does.
Yeah, and it's also it should be noted that they don't only, of course, the main area is UFOs, but they also have actually the world's largest archive of unexplained phenomena, and it's yeah, it's so big right now, so they need to have new like what do you call it, locations.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's cool.
So, real quick, is there a website like MUFON has a website? Do they have a website just for them that you would go to join and to look at past cases?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
I think it actually is UFO.se.
Oh yeah, I just saw it right there on the photo.
Oh, did I miss that?
Yep.
It's on the bottom.
Oh, yep. How did I miss that? Okay. Cancel that question then.
Yeah, we go back. Sorry,
I was
sadly
gonna
we
ask the
can't
same
edit
question.
this, but yeah.
I was
so
reading.
it's,
I wasn't looking at that. So, all right.
admit it, you're blind. That's that's
That's
the
my
biggest
problem.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody sees how close I am to the computer.
Yeah.
Time to get the glasses changed again.
Yeah.
Yep.
You need glasses like us grown-ups.
Yeah. I'm just a little baby. I know.
Yeah. But you're cute. Yeah.
I
You can go with, you can skip to next slide. Yeah. And it's also a movie, UFO Sweden. And when I looked into this for the show, I realized why sometimes when I have how do you say, tipped people to watch this, it's very in many international releases. It's called Watch the Skies, not UFO Sweden.
Yeah. Well, I found that interesting because, like I told you both earlier, I had UFO Sweden. Just strictly UFO Sweden. It was in Swedish, but it had captions, for English. And I tried again to find it, and I could not find it over here, no matter where I looked under that name. It's only under Watch the Skies now.
Yeah, it's strange because it's a better named UFO Sweden than Watch the Skies can be any of these like 100,000s of UFO movies. So I don't know why.
And make sure it's Watch the Skies. We were talking about this yesterday, and we typed in Watch the Sky.
Yeah, it's from 2022.
UFO movie.
Yeah, and make sure it's the one from 2022. That I also made the mistake on.
Yep.
Yeah.
But great. I mean, honestly, one of the best movies I have ever seen.
Yeah, it's
Karl,
really good. And not,
have you seen both of them?
Sorry?
Have you seen both versions
of the movies?
No, I haven't seen the Watch the Skies version, because apparently that is the one that is with the English sound, or what do you say?
I've actually got. I don't know how it is on Amazon, but the version I have, it's in Swedish as well.
Okay.
So, Steve, if you're watching it on Amazon, it may be dubbed in English. But from what I do know from watching, I mean, it's on the TV right now, it is exactly the same movie, just a different name.
Okay.
Same cast, everything?
Everything is 100% the same.
Okay, so it's just the title changed.
Title change.
Yeah, okay. But it's a really good movie, and it's about a girl whose father went missing many years ago, and it turns out to be UFO related, and she get in contact with the organization UFO Sweden, and they make a really hilarious version of not just the organization itself, but how with us Swedes that we can't have meetings without coffee and stuff. Mm-hmm. It's there's a scene like that. Where is the damn coffee? They can't do it, and
when they're in the basement,
yeah. And the guy who leads the organization is called Lennart Svan, and he is really looking exactly like Claes Svan, the real leader. So it's a great movie. You should see it if you haven't. It's
definitely watch. It's on Amazon. It's on. I think you can rent it on YouTube as well. There's quite a few places that you can watch it, and highly recommended.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe we can put the IMDb link in the chat if anyone,
I got it.
When we figure out that. You can take the next slide for some UFO cases. These are, I'm going to go through a couple of the biggest cases that we have had here. And the reason I chose these and why these are the most interesting for me is the cases where you have like multiple witnesses and corroborating witnesses, not just one person saying that there was an alien in my bedroom. For them, I mean, that's of course nothing wrong with that. I'd like
Right.
that, but these are when they are from multiple locations, multiple people, and they are the most interesting. And this one is from 1980, July the 31st. It's the lake of Nammajaure in Norrbotten, up north. You pronounce it like, as they speak up north in Sweden, like Nammajaure, Norrbotten. They talk like that. And this is a case where there were at least 3 individuals who saw something. And I'll go through what they saw, but there was also like military reports. This case was in the Swedish Security Service report. And what has to be remembered is that many cases that we have had with UFOs or UAPs have not been discs. They've almost always been like more cigar shaped.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we used to call them spökraketer, ghost rockets, because they could fly like very strangely. You couldn't see no combustion or anything, but they thought it was rockets.
Is there do they have any theories as to why it would be cigar shaped mainly instead of what they see out here in the States? Everything. Like, have they ever had any theories about why?
No, not really, because, well, of course, there has been like some psychological theories that when one person starts to see something, they see it and they get like stressed, the adrenaline, that maybe
the mass hysteria.
Yeah, exactly. That's how they remember it. But this one is really cool because they saw an object flying towards this lake, and it actually like took a turn. And then went down into the lake. So it didn't really like crash. It didn't just go straight down, but it took a turn and went down. And it made a splash. And a while later, Swedish military came to the scene, and they like cordoned off the area, so people couldn't get in. They started to interrogate the witnesses and stuff. They saw divers in the lake, etc. And later they came out and said that no, we didn't find anything, etc. But many years later, actually, when UFO Sweden has done a lot of investigations at this site or at this lake, and they have dived themselves, and the little gray image there, the mega small one, is from a sonar that they did of the bottom of the lake. And this is right now the most interesting part, because it's something that should be at least partially made out of metal, and it's on the bottom below a lot of sediments, so it's very hard for the divers to get there. But this is one of the cases that are still being talked a lot about, and there was a documentary on Swedish television this, I think, maybe a year ago or something, where they dived there again. And they didn't find anything. But what's interesting is that the chief of UFO Sweden got contacted by a military person much later, who said that, well, we did get something out, but he didn't know what. So it's and also what is interesting is that we don't. I get the feeling that we don't have the same like super what do you call it, secrecy about this stuff. So military has talked to the like magazines, reporters and stuff, and police have done the same thing on some of the cases I will talk about. So
I remember you talking about that, when we first realized that we were both interested in it, that here, I mean, it's more talked about now than it used to be. But you said in Sweden, they're just very open. If there's something coming, they talk about it. They let people know what's going on.
Yeah, it's on the news, and it's well, of course, you guys have it on the news as well. But it is not that looked down upon. If people are not really seen as crazy,
Yeah,
if you
and
say that you've seen something like that.
yeah, and here, I mean, people are more open to it now, but I remember I wouldn't talk to anybody about it because they just look at you like you're a nut job.
Yeah.
So this
and
happened
partially, I would say that this is thanks to UFO Sweden, since they
Yeah.
have been talking so much in the press, the media. They say that, well, there are things we don't know what it is, and blah blah blah. So they have helped a bit stigmatize it, or what do you call it?
Steve, you had a question?
Yeah, this happened back in the 80s.
Yeah.
I know we're a lot more open with UFOs now. Back in the 80s, was there a stigma behind UFOs like there was for us? Or has it always been open like that?
It's been rather open. It's when it goes over to these, like, almost, they came and talked to me about the world peace or blah, blah, blah. That has been like, but that is, that something is out there, or I have seen something unexplained. It's, everybody knows that UFO means, like, well, it's something unidentified, that approach.
Okay.
So I would say we have had a quite open discussion about it. And it's interesting because, I mean, we are a very secularized nation. We don't have, it's very low people that call themselves like Christians or anything like that. So it doesn't have that, it can't exist because God didn't say it in the Bible or something.
Oh, okay.
So it's much more like a scientific thing. Like, well, it is something. What is it? And when you go over to that, that it must be aliens. Maybe the discussion can be a bit, well, yeah.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's good that it's, that they've been so open for so long, and I mean, we're getting that way now. I just wish it would have happened a little sooner.
Yeah, I wish it would have been that way back in the 80s, the 70s.
Yeah.
But everybody, they just, like you said earlier, the mass hysteria, the panic, and that's everywhere I look or information I read. That's one of the excuses they give is, well, we don't know how people are going to act.
No.
Well, I mean, even if something were to come down here, I mean, what could we do really?
Yeah, and I'm. That's one of those I would say arguments that I think. Well, what will happen if this came out? Well, would it break the amazing peace we have all over the world right now, or have had for ages? I mean.
Yeah, and I was talking to a buddy about this.
It is chaos, so
it's like if they really wanted to come down here and take over, I mean, there's nothing we could do about it.
No.
Really, it's so might as well get it out there and let everybody know.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe they can help us with Russia.
That would be nice.
Wouldn't it? There we go.
Yeah. So jump into the next slide. Because these two cases are actually the ones that are in the background of the UFO Sweden movie. Because this is another lake called Backsjön in Sollefteå, Sweden. This was in March 1999. And once again, it's multiple corroborating witnesses. You had, once again, militaries on site. There's a pretty cool story about a military guy who described his work there, but the same thing. But here it was during the night, so it was a very luminous object coming down from the sky towards the ice because the lake was frozen. And since you had witnesses on many sides of this lake, some say that it went through the ice, like crashed, or maybe not crashed, but forced itself through the ice. Okay. Other people said it just like went through and no hole in the ice.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. And
intriguing.
Yeah, and of course it that could be like from your perspective of where you stand, seeing it, and maybe it was thin ice or whatever it was. But once again, you had people there that wasn't together but saw this, and later like spoke and saw that they had seen exactly the same thing, but from different angles. And once again, Swedish military came out, and in this case, it's a military person who described it as he went into a helicopter with his like unit, and they flew around over the lake to see well, if they could see anything at all. And apparently there was something about they were not allowed to land. They only had permission to fly over. But he saw something on the lakeside. So he said to his colleague that he was going to throw up. He was feeling unwell. So they landed, and he went out and he saw there was a lot of dead fish on the side. So he collected them, and they checked them for radiation later, but they couldn't find anything. But that was like a weird, because he could see that it was a lot from the sky. So, but I like that he was so into getting down. So he said that I'm going to throw up in your helicopter. So okay, then we land. So they
do whatever
broke the rule
takes.
about not. Yeah. And of course, it was in the magazines, etc. People were interviewed, and like I said, these two cases are very much connected to the big case in the UFO Sweden movie.
Okay. So I have a question then.
Yep.
So they never found anything, like they never retrieved anything really from these two cases, right? Like no ships.
The first one is one military personnel said that, well, we did get something, but not
so
what, yeah.
I guess if you look at, there was a news conference, Steve, you might have seen it, that came out recently here, where they talked about UFOs not coming from the sky, but they're coming from the oceans or the lakes and stuff.
Yes.
So is that something that they have discussed there, that, you know, the reason they're going into the water is because that's where they stay? Or
it's been the discussion has been mostly around why are they so interested in our lakes, because we have had, these are just two of many, but these are the most prominent ones. People have seen them going into lakes. I mean, we have a lot of lakes in Sweden. We have more lakes than Finland. Yeah, but Finland says they have more lakes than us. It's an ongoing battle.
So are the lakes, like these two in particular, are they really deep?
The first one is not very deep. The first one we checked, this is a little bit deeper, but it's not like, that's also the thing, that you couldn't really have a base down there or something.
Right.
It's almost like there is something in the lakes that they are interested in.
Yeah. Okay.
So we jump over to one of my other favorite cases. Once again, witnesses. This was back in 1981 on the city of Gothenburg, Sweden's second largest town. And here they saw a huge dark object in the sky, visible light under and on the sides. And this was over central Gothenburg. So it was so many witnesses. I think UFO Sweden has interviewed, I don't know, tons of people.
Okay.
And some people that are very skeptic about this has said that, well, it's just a blimp. But first of all, I don't taking up a blimp over central Gothenburg and no one knows about it and it's not very likely. And even UFO Sweden says that it didn't even have the characteristics of a blimp.
Right.
And what is cool here is that the Landvetter airport, Sweden's second largest airport, they saw an echo on the radar. They were starting to try to communicate with it and see what it was. But it was like I said, they were like, this is not a plane because it's just going really, really slow. Police officers went out and they said the same thing. Well, we're standing here. What we're going to do about it? Almost and so it's like UFO Sweden has classified this as one of the most credible cases that we have ever had. The only sad thing is that there are almost no photographs or anything. But I mean, again, it's not like today when everyone has a
phone,
cell phone.
Oh.
So, and again, this is like internationally, this case is almost no one talks about it. But for us, it's almost bigger than the what's it called, Phoenix Lights.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on this one, you said that it was picked up on radar.
Yep.
On the other two, do they have an idea of about how large they were?
Those ones were smaller, like 10 to 15 meters or something. And they made like a sketch, the witnesses. So it's like it was cigar shaped, but some in that what do you call it? Well, in length. I don't know the other parameters really,
Width? Length
yeah,
and width.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But in length, it was somewhere around that 10 to 15 meters. Really, really interesting. And also, I forgot one of the witnesses on the first one that like took a turn and then went into the lake. She described it that she heard some kind of sound when it turned, almost like air. She described it as air puffs, but later she said that it sounded like heavy static electricity or something, like when it turned. Otherwise, it was also completely silent.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. You guys probably saw the comment that Lilith made that says the giveaway that sightings like this are otherworldly is how silent they are, and it's even tiny. Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah.
A lot of
you can hear drones half a mile away.
Yeah, and I've seen stuff that you know with the size of what I'm looking at, it's got to make some kind of fucking noise.
Yeah,
and
that's also that's good that you say that, because sometimes when they say that it's a blimp isn't silent.
No, you can hear the motor running.
Yeah,
and
the
fans going. So so
that's really interesting.
Spot on with that.
Yeah. So we jump over to the next case. Also, here we don't have as many like different witnesses, but it's a really cool story. It's about a guy back in the 1950s who saw, this one was described as almost football sized only, but he saw it flying like an orb, and then he saw something fell from it, and he went up and checked, and was like he described it as a stone-like lump, but it was still warm when he took it. And it hadn't like been embedded or something. It had just it was just laying there. And he took it home and put it in a box. And later his son found it, and his dad has told him about this story. And he was giving it to a researcher who was Erland Sandqvist. He's done like some cases, but not one of these super believers.
Okay.
So he sent it for analysis. If we go to the next slide, that is the stone, or what do you call it? Want to call it? But what is interesting, they sent it to two different laboratories, the Linköping Institute of Technology and the Swedish Institute for Metal Research, and these are the biggest, most serious places that, and these are of course not. These are real institutes. They're not connected to UFO research or anything like that. And both of them came out that it was inconclusive. They couldn't really say that this is it, this is what it's made of, blah, blah, blah. They said that it had, like the last one said that it could be metallurgical slag, but it was way too high density. Okay. And the other one at Linköping said that, we don't know what it is, but it is quite unusual because we can't see any traces of oxygen or like typical ore trace elements.
Yeah, when I thought it looked like gold, just by the color of it. And then once I read what it was, you know, the description, I was like, that's really interesting.
Yeah. So because I read somewhere that if you had taken like some of the what do you call it, qualities of it and put them like one had this and one had that would be, then they could say what it was, but they couldn't say really what it came from, what it really is, because of these like weird facts about it. I'm no physician, but the density as described there is apparently very, very interesting. Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah.
I've been just running back and forth through these past slides, and I've never noticed this before, but like here in the Hudson Valley, we had the Hudson Lights of the 80s, Roswell 1947, the Phoenix Lights in the late 90s, and they're all correlating to the same dates you've got on your slides.
Yep.
So, I mean, in my opinion, it was happening just here in America, but now it seems like it goes in cycles and it's happening around the globe.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that is also, I found many times when, I'm quite skeptic. I need a lot of evidence and stuff to start to think that something is something. Right. I don't like when you use one unproven method to prove another one, for an example. But when often when you hear that, what do you call it, a skeptic approach, why does everything just happen in America? Haha. And I'm like, no. I mean, look at all the Russian files that came out. Look at the like our cases. It's just that, well, no one reads Swedish, so that's why there's no big books about it. But like you said, it has been. I think it's like you say. I didn't really realize that it has. A lot of the dates are very close to each other.
Yeah, I'm going to start paying attention to a lot. I'm going to pay closer attention to dates now. This is fascinating. That it's correlating that much.
Yeah, I saw the. Now I'm going to show my incompetence about U.S. governments, etc. But they talked on TV with the new drone, where the Hellfire missile.
Oh, did you see that too?
Yeah, but what was it called? You call it was it in Congress or? Yeah,
it was
a subcommittee in Congress.
Yes, Congress subcommittee that put out the video of it. Okay,
Congress subcommittee. I have no idea what that is, but it sounds cool. But anyway, that guy Knapp, what do you call it? Knapp, or what do you call
George
him?
Knapp.
George Knapp. Yeah, he was there and he talked about these Russian files that he had for ages. They talked about just a few cases, and those files would be so interesting to see because they are apparently as good as these, if not even better. They have like MiG crashes with when they try to intercept these like UFOs or UAPs. So I was more interested in that than the actual video because the video is, well, it's cool, but that he had these files, those would be really interesting. Once again, like you said, Steve, to put them against the American cases, the Swedish cases, and see is this the same dates.
I'm gonna be keeping track.
I've studied UFO reports from all over the world, but I've never put the dates together.
Yeah, I haven't ever looked at. I look at the dates, but I don't think about them versus dates here.
Yeah, cool. Just so I know, is my video lagging a lot?
It's not lagging a lot. I've been checking the audio on the live stream, and the audio is perfect.
Everything. It matches up.
The audio is most important.
Yeah, it always matches up in the end. I've noticed because Steve, sometimes you start lagging to me, and then when I watch the videos, it's fine.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I've been paying attention to the live stream on YouTube as well, and it's looking good.
Excellent. I'm as good looking there as I am in.
Absolutely, even better looking, I think.
Cool. We jump to the next case. It's not a real case, but a wave. We call it the Vallentuna wave. It's a bit outside Stockholm here. It was in the 1970s to the 80s. There were so many reports. There were like reports every day almost. And these were, once again, they were hovering over fields, forests, lakes, once again, lakes there. Since we have more lakes than Finland, of course, that's more, yeah. And the interesting thing here is that a lot of police reports. UFO Sweden went out. They talked to a lot of these people, and it was almost like it's imagine the Phoenix Light, but every day.
Really, every day, huh? That's That would be
and thank you.
Yeah, that would be crazy to see that.
Yeah, exactly. And in this, and what's also interesting is that here they were much more like the classic disc-shaped or spheres. It's a hard word for us Swedes. And but not the cigar parts or the cigar-shaped crafts, or what do you call them? So it's and then it just stopped. Not like because what is interesting with this, when you talk about, well, it's just mass hysteria or people are just copying each other, it stopped like that, like from one day to another, and then nothing. And I mean, a mass hysteria doesn't stop on a clock,
right?
And well, as we said, also that once again they were interested in lakes. I'll do a segue until the next thing I'm going to talk about. So you can change the slide. We're going to go into Swedish cryptozoology. It's amazing, how to call it, editing by me there. So it's cryptozoology E. And this is also a bit funny about the Swedes, because this is there's a huge lake in Jämtland. It's also up north, so it's very big. And of course, when we Swedes are going to name this lake, we must have amazing fantasy, because it's called Storsjön, which means big lake.
That's good.
They didn't have a PR team back then, I think.
Yeah.
But
I've heard that Finland does the same thing with theirs.
Yeah, I love that. It's like the lake shaped like a T.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Yeah, but this is a really long going. It's our own version of the Loch Ness monster, of course. We even, I mean, they call her Nessie. Yeah. We just call it actually the Great Lake Monster. That's what we call it. That's how the great fantasy we have for making up cool words. But these sightings started some back in the 1600s. And I mean, of course, it has been so many people seen it. There have been like fishermen that are out, they have seen it. There's one especially cool case with that. But a military unit that had a, what do you call it? A training, something like they saw it.
Exercise?
Yeah, exactly. Police officers once again have seen it and reported it. And the what do you call it? The myth about it is that in the ancient times there was a giant apparently fighting this beast, and he threw it in the lake. And then it was a rune carver who carved a rune stone that apparently sealed the beast inside the lake. And that rune stone is still it's still there, so it's quite cool. And this was carved back in the Viking era. When those who have seen it and describe it say it's a serpentine aquatic creature, 15 to 20 meters long, humped back, dark gray brown skin, and occasionally a horse or dog-like head rising from the water, which is of course almost spot on for Nessie in Loch Ness.
Well, I find that interesting because I don't know where I heard it from, but years ago, I think I was watching something that was about them trying to find Nessie, and when they couldn't, they said they discovered that there were tunnels or like caves that in the bottom of Loch Ness that Nessie could swim through. So that's why you would see it show up in different countries, is it was traveling back and forth. So,
Well, and again, I for many years ago I was at the Loch Ness, and as the tourist I am, of course, me and my buddy, we rented a boat with sonar, so we went around there and like screamed every time, and he was like, "No, that's a fish." We're like, "It's huge." No, it's like this. So.
it's just
but if you look at Loch Ness and see the what do you call it, operations that they have done when they have tried to scan the lake, always sounds like they have the entire lake covered, and they go over it and say we didn't find anything. But if you really look at it, they take like, if this is the, I don't know, if we say that this is the lake, they scan it like this,
right.
So it's, even though they have 10 boats, I mean, the lake is huge. You can't cover that with one operation. It's impossible.
Yeah, it's.
But what is interesting is that we have done there has been like a sonar thing in Storsjön, and there they actually saw strange moving shapes. And the really crappy green photo up there on the right is a underwater photo of one of these things that they saw moving under the water.
Oh, that's cool.
That could, of course, be anything, but the other ones are photos of the so-called beasts. But the coolest case is one from the 1980s, where a local fisherman who's been fishing for ages, and apparently he had said that there's nothing there, but when he saw something from just 30 meters from his boat, he described it as a massive eel, and he said that, well, there are no such, he never seen an eel that big. But the cool thing is that there was a police officer taking a break from he was like a street cop or something. He took a break, and he sat and saw the exact same thing and reported the same thing. So it's once again, that's the kind of like reports I like. When
multiple people that are seeing the same thing.
Exactly.
Cool.
And I'm probably talking way too fast. Do we have any questions or anything in the
no,
excellent.
We've been talking about the Hudson River monster that we have here. They've named it Kipsy. Some people claim it's just a large.
See, you can name stuff. You can really name stuff. Yeah. We don't just Great Lake Monster.
It's a big monster.
That's excellent.
Yeah. We also
we should hire you guys.
Yeah, that's
Great really... Lake Monster PR team.
Yeah. The first story that I had ever heard about, the lake has become an object of local interest. Some guy painted it and anchored it so it would stay near the shore. I call it Sticky Kipsy's Little Brother. That's
excellent.
Yeah, the first story that I ever heard about Loch Ness was from my grandma, and I remember I had to have been about 7 or 8, and she came over to stay with us for a while, and she swore up and down that she would swim with Nessie every time she went home. She would drive up to Loch Ness, and she would go swimming with Nessie. So for years, I believed her. I didn't know. Famed. Oh yes, at the Boleskine house.
We went to the Boleskine house when I was there, but I didn't know that you. Well, we went up to it, and people were very angry with us. We thought it was going to be a museum, but it wasn't. So
I've got a rock.
It was hanging there.
Very cool.
Yeah, cool. We can jump to the next slide, and this is about probably one of the most beautiful places that you can go to here in Sweden. It's the Island of Gotland. It's to the east of us in the Baltic Sea, and it's seen as the most haunted place in Sweden. And the old how do you say, myth about it is that Gotland only rose at night, and it was inhabited by like ghosts and demons and stuff. And then some priest came there and did some priesty things. I don't know, hopefully not with choir boys, but he did some priest stuff. So it stayed up even during the day, but it still has the many of those old like demons and stuff left. So it's like apparitions there. You hear, like, you can see spectrals, everything. In the central town of Visby, there's a huge like medieval wall around, and apparently the people working there, they are like, yeah, of course it's ghosts everywhere. And of course it could be a touristy thing, but the entire island is full of like limestone churches that are abandoned. So, and you have Viking burial sites and stuff. So it's like the atmosphere is amazing there. And I was gonna say, we were a couple of people who were like really into this sort of stuff, of course. So we decided many years ago to go there and like make our own little investigation. So you can jump to the next slide. We were checking out like what's the most haunted places, and this is we went to it's an old abandoned church, and it was said to be the worst place you can be at night on Gotland. So of course we went there, and it was like a group of us, some of us skeptics and some believers. We had a medium or psychic, or one was called herself medium and one psychic, and I don't really know the difference. But what we did here was that we like did almost like a ritual, when you say, put up light candles and stuff, and chanted a bit. But we also like recorded with we had these. Remember when the Sony cameras had the night vision on them?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So cool stuff. I wish I had it today.
Yeah.
But we set that up and see what happened. And of course, the psychic and mediums, they were screaming all over the place and said that they saw stuff and heard stuff. But what I found interesting was that the temperature went like really cold inside this ruin that we were. So when you went outside, it was warm again, because this was in the middle of the summer, so it was really warm. So we took temperatures, and it was the same temperature on both places, but you can almost like get your hand, like, okay, here it's cold, here it's warm. I had to have my like soft shell inside, but outside it just had a t-shirt.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was really cool. This is, of course, a long exposure image. Probably one or two of us guys. The guy on the right is a friend of mine, but the other one we're not really sure about. It could be anyone walking past it, but it was really cool experience. We didn't get anything on like because this was taken with analog camera, so it was stood there for quite a while. But the same group also did another experiment on the same time. So if you go to the next slide, this is a well-known like Viking grave mound, and what's cool with it is that you can see it's made out of stones, but in the middle there you can see it from here. But there's like a what do you call it? What do you say? It goes down a bit on the top.
Oh, like
so
an
you can
indent?
sit. Yeah, exactly. So you can sit up in that indent. So what we do is that there's a old Swedish or Norse, really, a thing with, we call it utesittning. It's like sitting out, it's called. But when you sit outside the whole night and don't talk, you just sit there.
Like meditating, kind of.
Yeah, sort of, but more or less.
Go.
Yeah, I would probably call it meditating. So, because this is also supposed to be quite haunted, but after a couple of hours, since we were gonna be up so long, we had drank a lot of coffee. So, a friend of mine said he had to go and relieve himself, and I said, "Dude, this is a This is like a graveyard. You can't do it here. So you have to go far away. So he climbed down and went away, and it was like really cool because there were mists everywhere. You know, this you couldn't really see anything because the moon was behind the cloud and stuff, but you can see the mist. And then you think the Americans can stay quiet all night and watch?
No, I can answer that one.
No.
It's cool. Yeah, but he went away, and we just sat there, and then we hear him screaming. He total panic, and he was like, "They're everywhere." So I had this like a mag light with me, and we did and search, and then there were free-ranging sheep that had come. So, but he didn't understand that. He just saw it because he was so afraid of. He was so like up in this. So, of course, we named him Sean the sheep every time after that. But on that occasion, we didn't really like. There was nothing strange, but it was like a really cool experience to sit there just silent all night and feeling this. Quite, yeah, exactly. Yeah, because that's is the thing with this. You shouldn't talk. So he broke it when he said that he had to go, and so he double destroyed our experience now. But it's and once again, this is Gotland. It's very flat everywhere. So when you sit up there, you can see a very long. It's very atmospheric. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it looks really nice there.
These ancient grave mounds.
Yep.
Are they quite common, or is this
no, not
something
really? They're quite uncommon, I'd say, actually, because from what I understood, they have been destroyed or stuff like that. But we have a couple of ones north of Stockholm in Uppsala that are really huge, where there are a lot of, I think they're named in these old writings where they came like scholars to Sweden, or and what's it called? Where they did, because I mean we wrote on rune stones, but they came like scholars to the North countries to see the culture and stuff, and they are mentioned there.
Oh.
And that's really cool place. I think it's called like Uppsala Grey Mounts or something. It's beautiful. But
we do have a question.
Yep. Have archaeologists excavated this mound? Actually, everything is very protected, but sadly, most of them have been what do you call it? Raided or. Yeah, because it was like often when people were put in graves, like buried, they of course had like nice belongings. I mean, so you need your gear to get into Valhalla. Of course, you can't just come there with your shirt. So, and that is sadly the truth. They are most of them are have been looted. Yeah, exactly, looted.
Gino, watch out. You gotta move.
You can go to the next slide for our wonderful black lady, the Swedish phantom. This is like a apparition, a ghost who has been seen for so long. I have some newspaper clippings there, and in the top right, you can see that is from 1899. I think it says, yes. Where it's the Black Lady at Reimersholm. It's a place here in Sweden. It also says that Leo Tolstoy is dangerously sick, so we have to. I hope he got better. But this is one of them where, through the ages, we have seen almost exactly the same version, but it has been seen many times, often by kids, but also by grown-ups. And this just few of the clippings that I have from this case. It's been so many times, and extra interesting is that when there were these what do you call it, creepy clown wave that spread all over the world, we got the black lady back. So people started seeing, we didn't have the clowns, she came back instead. So but she's described as well, as you see in the picture there, but often like hovering or stuff like that. Sometimes her head is it's not off, but it's like a distance. What do you call it? Like it's been chopped off.
It's like hovering above her neck. Like
exactly. And often one theory is that she lost children, so that's why she goes after them now. She wants her own, etc. And many people have seen it. And also she has a glowing cross on her chest, so she's not a vampire, at least.
As long as
maybe she's a Buddhist vampire.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so this is more or less the cases that I wanted to go through. On the next slide, I just have the amazing image that Grok gave me when I said described supernatural Sweden.
I like that.
I love it.
I like. Yeah.
So for anybody out there listening, if you have any questions for Karl, get them in now.
Yep.
I know he'd love to answer every question you guys have.
Rona, Vengeful Spirit. Yes, that one, this one, right? There we go. That one. La Llorona.
Yeah.
Yep.
I heard about her, but that actually came out when I was researching a bit about. But I know very little about that, but it seems like it could be maybe her cousin in Latin America.
Let's see. We've had that problem in Germany with the Celtic sites and the occasional Viking one, sadly. Okay. I think very cool.
Yeah.
Anybody have any other questions?
I just talked and talked. We sat for an hour. This went fast.
On your visit to the church.
Yep.
Do you have any other stories of what you guys saw that night, or capture anything? I mean,
well,
I'm fascinated with the paranormal, and I love going to old churches because I think it's just amazing some of the things you can get in a church.
Yeah. I was going to say something nasty about getting with a priest, but I'm not going to say that.
Steve, you have the church next to you? Are they still remodeling that?
No, it's completely remodeled, and unfortunately, all the activity that we had noticed is gone now because of, I guess, because they remodeled the inside.
Yeah.
That it used to be one of the most haunted churches. From everything I've read, it was a very haunted church here in Poughkeepsie.
Yeah, and
not the most haunted. The most haunted, just I forget what.
Well, I have a really another story from that trip. It was not close to the church, but it's also quite cool. We did another utesittning actually in a forest in also on Gotland, and it was pretty close to the house where we stayed, but we were like, we go out and sit all night and just like, feel the vibe. But I found a good place and I sat for a couple of minutes, but then everyone else was like, they were moving around and they didn't find any place to sit. So I was like getting annoyed a bit, but that's okay. And then they started to calm down a bit, but then they started doing it again and like break branches and stuff. So I got like irritated after a while. Like I go back to the cabin. But when I came back to the cabin, everyone was there because they thought after a few minutes it was too cold. So I had been alone in that forest for like 2 hours. And then I was like, okay, what was making all that noise and cracking the trees and stuff? Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. When you were talking about your friend that when you were sitting on top of the mound and he left and started freaking out, but it was just sheep. So one of my buddies was telling me a couple weeks ago that he's older. He's about my mom's age. And it was when the states were fighting, I think, Venezuela, all that in South America against communism. He was deployed there. And we were talking about all this stuff. And he said one night he was on fire watch and he could hear and see something moving in the distance. And he freaked out and he hollered out. They wouldn't stop. And so, being a war, he shot. And 2 hours later, the farmer came up and yelled, there was cows moving through, and he shot the farmer's cows. So it reminded me of that. And he had to pick. He said he was so pissed because, this is the 70s, 80s, somewhere around there, that they basically took his pay for a whole month to pay the farmer back for shooting the cows. But that reminded me of that.
Yeah. That's a bit worse.
Yeah. But something you think it's something coming after you, and it's just an animal.
Definitely.
But this has been a lot of fun.
It has.
Yeah, it was.
I am looking forward to going
I have
to
learned
this,
so much
UFO.sw site and checking it out.
Yeah, definitely. You should check it out. It's Swedish is actually quite easy to run through, like translate and stuff. So
it's really easy.
Yeah, but you speak Swedish almost.
I can read it and write it. The pronouncing, I can't pronounce worth a crap.
No.
Just I'm not used to it, but it is a lot like, Steve, if you speak German at all, it's a lot like German.
Yes. It's very close. It's the same, what do you call it, language base. It's a Germanic language. So that's when you choose languages in school. Sorry?
What's that?
Downstairs, it can definitely help translate.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's relatively easy. So yeah.
It's been a great evening.
Anybody else?
Evening for me. It's noon for you guys.
Yeah, it's 1 p.m. for me, and it's 9 for you.
Yeah, 9.
Yep. That time difference, man, that'll get you.
Hate it. Yeah, definitely.
Yes, but Karl would have to speak very slow for me to keep up.
Oh, I've been sitting here trying to figure out who Demon Mama Drew was, and it just dawned on me.
I don't know who it is. I'm trying to figure it out, and I don't know.
So you know Swedish, but I have to speak slow.
I believe
jag Sveriges sötaste pojke.
I believe my wife has changed her name on YouTube.
Oh. Okay, well, see, I'm looking at above where it said we've had that problem in Germany with the Celtic sites, and I'm like, okay, well, the person's obviously from Germany, but I wasn't thinking it was.
Well, she logged in under her name, and then disappeared. And my wife's usually the one that's always text or chatting.
Well,
so.
The whole time I'm sitting here wondering who it is. I'm like, hey, we've got a new viewer. That's awesome.
Well, the weird part for me is I looked over at the screen and I saw her name, and then Demon Mama Drew showed up right underneath her, and I'm like, oh, they're talking to each other. So I've just completely proven that I'm an idiot. Because Drew would have been the giveaway.
Oh, I forgot one thing. When we went on that field trip, we never took any hammers, because I understood, Steve, that hammers are important.
The hammers are important on any hunt like that.
That was good. You ain't ever gonna live that down, Steve.
My hammer story has gone global.
That was from like this,
hammer.
that was the very first episode that you talked about that.
Yep.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you figure coming from the military, I'd grab other weapons, but nope, a hammer is the necessary item.
Yes. Deploy the hammer.
That's good.
Yeah.
So
This has been so much fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Karl, thank you for coming on. You had me riveted. I'm sitting here listening to your stories, and I'm going to do a lot more investigation on Sweden now.
And we definitely should check out the, like you say, the time synchronicities, tidssynkroniseringen.
Synchronicities,
yeah. That was interesting. I never thought about that. I've just seen it as different cases.
I've never thought of it either, and I don't know why. But I've looked at so many different cases from around the world, and I write pretty much everything down. And so I write the name, I write the date, but I never go back and think about it. Okay, well, in America, what happened in the 50s or what happened in the 60s? So I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Thank you. Everything I've researched now, I've got to go back and research again.
Yeah.
Because even the wave you were talking about in the 70s and 80s matches the Hudson Valley wave that we had here. The early 80s.
So cool. It's almost like they're just going from one spot to the next.
Yeah, exactly. Like they have a mission or collect stuff. They get something in our lakes and cows at you guys.
Yeah, thank you, Lilith. Yeah, that's something that has had me intrigued since you mentioned it. Is there's something about the lake there? You know what I want to know what it is about it that has them fascinated.
Yeah, because I mean, if you another thing that is that we never had any cattle mutilations, like never.
Really?
Yeah. We only had it's like they're interested in the lakes. That's the thing here.
That's something that I also want to talk about at some point, because I've never, I mean, I've read about it, I know what they are, but the logic or the reasoning behind it, like going in depth. So
definitely.
I had a lot of fun.
Me too.
Yeah, this was great. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Oh.
Does anybody else have anything they want to close with, say before we go?
Nope. Chat's all quiet.
Cool.
Yep, there we go.
So thanks everybody for tuning in to our special edition on Saturday, and thank you to Karl for joining us. It was a great presentation.
Yeah.
And you've given me a lot more to go out and start researching now.
Yep. And don't forget to like and share, comment. And then I think that's all I've got.
That's all I've got.
Yep.
Karl, anything else from you that you'd like to say in closing?
No, it's been a great discussion. Very, I like your format that you have this. It's more of a discussion. You take up topics, etc. And I like the approach with that you weigh the skeptic parts with the like more fantastical parts. So it's a great show.
Thank you.
I'm gonna what do you say? Share and to everyone I know.
Yep, we appreciate it, and that's how we wanted to go into it, because everybody's seen the podcast where they just sit and they just throw so many facts out at you, and you're just like, okay, well, there's no, it's not personal. It's just, it gets boring. So having something like this where you can get off topic, or you could talk about everything, and you can pause in the middle of it, I like. So
yeah, and get these great guys over here in the chat, get them going, and it's I love it. I'm so glad we decided to do live rather than just record and put it out.
that made the difference. And I was hesitant at first, more nervous, I guess, than hesitant, but I'm glad we did it that way.
It's
So,
much better dynamic.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
So
Well,
we'll
all
go
right.
ahead and close out. Tune in on the Facebook channel on Monday. We'll have our next episode posted then, and let you guys
Yep.
know what we're going to do for the next Friday. So
All
until
right.
next Friday,
Thank you,
enjoy.
guys.
Stay spooky.